Now, if I had to guess, I would probably say about 90% of us are exhausted from dating. And there are a few things that contribute to this. And I want to talk about those things today. And the first one is the illusion of choice or the paradox of choice. We have all these people in our DMs, flooding our DMs, underneath our pictures, writing in the comments, shooting their jumper. And we think to ourselves, I'm so popular, I'm that person, I'm him, I'm her. These people love me. So what happens is your ego, it increases because you have this illusion of so many options because so many people are reaching out to you, but it's all a facade. It's not real. It's online. It's not real. Out of all these people that you think you have an opportunity to be with, only a select few of them are going to be worth it. Only a select few of them are going to be able to fit into your life. They're going to be able to be the woman that you want or be the man that you want. So it's all an illusion because most of those people aren't ideal candidates. Most of them just want to hit. Most of them want somebody just to talk to, want a pen pal. Most of them are bored. So you have this illusion of options. And because you have this illusion of options, you don't allow yourself to fully get to know someone. As soon as something goes wrong or as soon as something gives you the ick or whatever, I hate that word, but as soon as something gives you that feeling, you're on to the next. You're replacing that person with a new person, sliding that new person in. And then it's a constant cycle. It's a repeated cycle of exchanging new partners. Because as soon as something goes wrong, you have this illusion of options and you're like, why should I stick to this? Why should I give energy to this? This is too much work. This person isn't right for me. It's too much work. I don't want to give all this energy to this. I'd rather just try to talk to somebody else who's probably a better fit for me. So you constantly are in this loop of exchanging partners and never settling on one person, never picking one person to do life with. So we have to get out of our heads this illusion of having choice or this illusion of options. Yes, women have a ton of people flooding their DMs, but half of them dudes just want to hit. 90% of those guys just want to hit. None of them are ideal candidates. So this idea that you have all this, you have the pick of the litter is all an illusion. It's a facade. It isn't real. It's online. It's online. It's not real. It's not real. All it says to me is that you got a lot of bobbing and weaving to do. You got a lot of filtering to do to find that person. As a man, sometimes men may not have people flooding their DMs like that. Well, it makes it a little bit easier on us with our filtering process because we don't have a ton of people like that in the first place. So, you know what I mean? So a lot of us are upset that we don't have all the options, but in actuality, for our mental, it is probably better not to have all those different options. It is probably saving us heartbreak because we may choose a woman that we think is for us and is she really not? Because we had to do all this filtering through all the plethora of options that we have, So I like the fact that I have a decent amount of women that hit me up. It's enough for me. It's enough for me. I don't have the time anyways. If you're a grown man, you shouldn't be so focused on finding a woman. Yes, it should be a part of your life. Yes, it is something that you should constantly be pursuing. But for it to be your primary focus, something's wrong. Because you should be focusing on excelling in your career or trying to make more money or fulfilling your purpose. Women come women come second to that. So men have to be on your purpose, have to be on your grind. Your focus needs to be elsewhere. You can't be chasing women. Women are supposed to chase you. Though society has always played on the idea of that men pursue women, but really men are the ones with the resources. So women are looking for those men. If you're a man with resources, then the women are looking to pursue you. That's the difference. When you don't really have a whole lot to offer, you're always going to be doing the chasing. You're always going to be doing the chasing. But when you got your life together, when you're making decent money, when you take care of your body, women are going to pursue you because they understand that you're a catch and they understand that you have resources. Because remember, we date off of different reasons. Men date women primarily off of looks and attraction and beauty. Women also date men off of that, but for women, it's more of resources, it's more of leadership, it's more of protection. Can you do those things for them? So we can't be operating like women and be spending most of our time chasing them. What more can I say? What more can I say? I would say another reason that dating feels exhausting is because of social media. We have these unrealistic expectations that we're trying to live up to. We have to understand that because we see these people only post the good aspects of their life or their relationship, that does not mean that that's a picture of what their relationship is really like. Remember, there's a camera set up, which means that they're acting. Half of that stuff is fake. Half of that stuff is to get clicks, to go viral, to get some kind of clout. Most of the relationships are not like that, but we spend so much time trying to emulate what we see on social media, what we see on YouTube, what we see on Instagram, what we see on TikTok. We spend so much time trying to emulate those fake relationships. Relationships. So we have to understand that social media is not real. It's another facade. It's fake. None of it's real. You got to question everything on the internet. So when people come to me about something that a TikToker said as if it's truth or it's factual, man, I take that with a grain of salt. Because these people will say anything to get clicks. Anything. So it's all fake. It's all a facade. Real relationships aren't like that. Real relationships are hard. Real relationships are difficult. They're challenging. They take patience. They take time. They take love. They take nurturing. It's like when Paul describes love. When he describes love, and I can't remember if it's First or Second Corinthians, but it talks about what love really is. Love is patient because you're gonna have arguments. You're gonna get impatient with your partner. So it is patient. It doesn't boast. It doesn't brag. It talks about the challenges that arise from being in a relationship, from loving somebody, from being married to somebody. He doesn't say, oh, you guys are going to go on picnics every day. You guys are going to make love every day. Everything is going to be sunshine and roses. That's not what Paul says. Paul makes a distinction of what love is by talking about the challenges that you experience in love. So we have to correct our way of thinking of what a relationship is supposed to be like or a partnership is supposed to be like. You know, I would say another thing that contributes to the exhaustion of dating is so many people are unhealed. We're trying to date people while being so unhealthy. A lot of us have just gotten out of a relationship and we're already trying to jump into another one. We monkey branching, we're rebounding. We're already trying to jump into something new. I know from my own experience. After my relationship, I jumped into a 5 month rebound relationship. The whole time I was in that relationship, I was thinking about my ex. Until I got to the point where I realized I was in a rebound relationship because when you get into one, you don't realize that you're in one. You don't realize that you're rebounding. You really think that you're in love, or you really think that you like this person. And you may like this person, but you're not ready to date that person. You're still healing. But because I didn't heal properly before choosing to get into a relationship with her, I brung some of my baggage with me. So now my baggage from my past relationship becomes the baggage in my new relationship. So I'm carrying an old baggage, and then I'm probably adding new baggage on top of that old baggage. So we're all unhealed, which creates toxicity within relationships. If we healed ourselves and then we both came together and created a union out of two healthy, healed human beings, then we would have more fruitful relationships. So we have to really focus on healing, making sure that we're ready to date. And that requires you to be self-aware about yourself and to understand yourself and understanding where you're at right now. So take that time to understand where you're at, understand whether you're ready to date, whether you're ready to see someone, whether you're ready to take on something seriously. So take your time. Take your time. And lastly, I would say what adds to just the exhaustion of dating is, I would say, really communication and an understanding of what it is that we're looking for. You know, we get into these relationships without having the communication of what each other wants. Some people say they want to be casual, or some people say that they want to be in a relationship, they want a partner, they want companionship. But how well do your actions follow through on that? So many people say that they're ready for a relationship, but they have the energy and the behaviors of somebody that wants something casually. They're ghosting you. They're hitting you up 8 hours later. They only hit you when it's late at night. So it's hard to understand the true intentions of somebody because we don't do enough communicating. Getting a clear picture of what it is that I want and what it is that you want. Because I may want a relationship, she wants something casual, but because we haven't talked about that, we're continuing to pursue something. And one of us is going to get hurt because we're going to gain a connection. We're going to get familiar with each other. We're going to learn about each other. And then we're going to find out that they weren't ready for anything serious, or they just wanted something casually. So it starts with communication. And because we don't communicate well, we end up getting in these partnerships and then it fizzling out because you start to realize how unaligned you two are. She wants kids. He doesn't want kids. She wants to get married. He doesn't want to get married. He doesn't like the idea of marriage. She loves somebody who's all about family. He hates his family. So we have to start communicating, giving more about ourselves so the other person can get an understanding of who we are and if we're aligned or not. If we do that in the beginning, we can stop so much heartbreak. We can stop so much miscommunication down the road, misunderstandings down the road. So I hope you guys got something from this. I don't want to belabor the point. but dating feels exhausting today. It really does. But it's something that we control. If we change how we approach it and we get an understanding of what it is that we actually are looking for. That's why I always ask a woman, what kind of man are you looking for? What is your ideal kind of man? Because I want them to be able to articulate down to a T what it is that they're looking for. Because if you don't know what you're looking for, you're shooting in the wind. You're hoping that this person that you just picked is the right one for you. Now, can people put on a facade? Can people act? Can they fake it? Yes. There's always an inherent risk when it comes to dating, but you can mitigate that risk by doing a little homework on what it is that you want out of a relationship. What kind of person do you want to date? Understanding the qualities or the morals of that person that you want that person to have. We can mitigate all the risk if we do the work ahead of time so that we can pick people that are more aligned with what we want. But I thank you guys for checking out this video. All I ask is that you guys subscribe, leave a comment. I comment back to everyone at least one time. You know, if it gets to be a ton of comments, it's hard for me to reply all the time. You know, your boy works. I work in aerospace. I'm a busy guy. But I'll always at least try to respond once. You know, so leave a comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you're always up to date when something gets dropped. That's all I ask for. And all that stuff is free. That's not anything you got to pay money for, nothing. It's just free. It's free. And that's all I ask, man, for you guys to support me. And I'll continue to try to produce good content for y'all. But I thank you guys for checking out this video. You could have been anywhere else in the world, but you chose to spend some time here with me. And I'm thankful for that. But yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next one. I'm out.